Now, the illegal ivory trade is decimating elephant populations across Africa. This week, delegates and activists from around the world are gathering in Switzerland for a meeting of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, known as CITES. As Henry Ridgwell reports, activists want tougher enforcement of regulations to tackle the organized crime gangs behind the ivory trade, which is estimated at $23 billion per year.
Shuidong in southern China, a hub, investigators say, for the smuggling of ivory poached from African elephants. Secretly filmed footage shows a network of safe houses where the goods are on display. An estimated 80% of ivory destined for China passes through Shuidong.
This town has emerged as probably the biggest hub in the world for illegal trade in ivory tusks. We first came across the footprints of this group in Tanzania in 2014. The country has lost half its elephants in 5 years, the biggest loss in Africa.
As Tanzania began to clamp down on smuggling, the gangs moved to Mozambique. Investigators secretly recorded one of the traffickers describing the trade through the Mozambican port of Pemba.
We're able to move anything through Pemba. Everyone there has been bought up. The customs clearance agent. The customs also gets a share of the money.
Investigators say the evidence shows smugglers operate with impunity.
There was a few cases where they had some tusks seized, but they were never arrested. And they sort of saw these seizures as really a business expense rather than a worry that you might get arrested.
Hong Kong authorities confiscated ivory worth $10 million earlier this month. China plans to ban the trade by the end of 2017. But John Seller, former chief enforcement officer at CITES, told VOA via Skype there is too much focus on the trade and not enough on the criminals involved.
There is the speculation involved here, that there is undoubtedly money laundering to my mind. This is a much more complex issue.
Seller says CITES lacks the teeth to enforce its regulations.
Organised criminal networks are now major players in all forms or many forms of wildlife trafficking. And you need to bring an organised law enforcement response to that.
Without that enforcement, activists warn ivory poaching will likely continue until the criminal networks are investigated and dismantled. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.